Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, all you beautiful people out there. I hope you've been having a fantastic night thus far, or day, wherever you are in the world. But down here in little old Australia, it's 8:15, and you know what that means. It's time to jump straight into some Dead by OCE gameplay, but I've told a lie. We're actually going to be going straight into the APAC Division 2 of the best Japanese teams going head-to-head to see who can take a best of three here tonight with some fantastic killers lined up as well. We're going to be seeing Wesker for the first set, Blight going on into the second, and finally Spirit. So we're going to be seeing some fantastic killers on some fantastic maps, and I've got a fantastic co-caster here with me this evening, Stasi. How are you feeling going into this?
Oh, thank you for talking me up, Filter. I really needed that, you know? And wow, I can't believe that hit there and just missed. That was right on the edge of being able to make that connection, but not today. We will be charging up our bow and trying to see if we can get the Felix here, but no, we can't. We will be seeing the pallet drop come in, and personally, I'm really not a big fan of that pallet at all. I think it is very, very gross to be stuck there as Survivor, so very nice to get that hit off there. Well done. But we are going to see you couldn't just straight away head to this 3 side where we find another survivor. I think this is our thing, actually. Looks like we are starting to keep up that early game pressure, really trying to keep these survivors off the gens, and we won't be able to get her, though. She has which will be able to get her away from us, but we will be able to make that second connection. Oh my god, we went so far.
Yeah, no, that chalice value coming through, 50% longer bounds after grabbing a survivor, but even with that, we were not able to get it into a health state. We're going to be continuing chase onto our Feng here after getting that health state out of her as she makes her way down towards the shack here. Yakun off to a pretty slow start for a Mastermind here, going to be zoning our Feng down towards the bottom side of the map and breaking that pallet. A lack of brutal strength coming through in substitution for that eruption is definitely an interesting pick in my opinion here. We are struggling to find our first down, the first gen popping in the distance as a result before our first health state, or first hook state, sorry, has come through, but it looks like it should be coming through any second now.
Well, that's exactly right. It is really good to see as well, and survivors have these really good chases. It is very entertaining, but we do get our infection meter filled here, which means we get our slow and go down not long after, but did get a gen out of it, so it was really well played by Lapis being able to get that pressure on. While Wesker was in chase, we actually see a double gen popping. Really well played, being able to get 2, and we will see the first hook come in here. I'm sure that this will be a Scourge hook, so we will get 25% off, but with those first 2 gens done, that Scourge hook probably won't be doing too much in order of actually stopping Lapis from finishing the rest.
Yeah, no, I am with you on that one, Lapis, showing time and time again just how quick they can get gens out of their way. Their gen pressure is immaculate. Their chases have been up to par as well. It is very impressive to see. We are going to be seeing Yakun not too worried about applying Pop Goes the Weasel to any generators here, instead electing to return to the hook here, and is going to catch out Felix. Felix has to play this very, very safely. If he's hit with this chalice here and thrown all the way down towards Shack, it could result in disaster here. We are going to be seeing, however, Yakun conceding the unhook and taking that down onto Kasop there. Just going to be picking him for the pain resonance value as well, as we're very aware that this is a pain res hook. And we're actually going to be seeing Yakun greeting for a deeper hook here. I think that's a bit risky. Going for that 1 at 11 is going to take this one towards 1. Is a bit of an interesting statement. We will be getting the hook onto Felix as a result, and very luckily that was a pain res as well.
Yeah, that's right. You definitely want them closer towards that top area where you could actually hold a 3 gen, and there are quite a few gens up top here as well, so definitely a respectable choice to make. But we do see Yukon heading straight towards 11 here. Doesn't actually find anyone, and we do see the infection going in onto this thing, so hoping we can get rid of that soon. But yeah, it's been on her for quite a while, actually. So we do get our pop value, though, and we see the heal coming through, where we find someone in 12. We're going to see the unhook onto main. No, we're actually going to opt to go for the loop around, possibly go for upstairs. We don't, but we are able to make the dodges here. Nia being able to sidestep both Wesker charges. Really well played, and we're going to take the chase onto possibly our unhooked survivor here. We're looking for Kisop here at 2.
Yeah, no, our survivor's doing a great job at kind of freaking our killer out a little bit here. Yakun not able to keep a consistent amount of pressure rolling throughout this trial thus far. Getting that unhook was also quite brutal, but we saw getting caught off guard there on that pallet and will be eating the down. As a result, we did get an eruption proc onto somebody on that main building gen. I think that is going to be our Nia. Raru chilling on that top side gen. We are going to be taking this hook onto Keysop and making our way up to the top of the main building. I can't imagine as the Nia could not have gotten very far. We are seeing somebody drop down there. I'm not sure if that was our survivor on the generator or not, but we do still have this very signature cold tower 3 gen up towards the top side here with main 11 and 9, and we're actually seeing our Jake committing quite drastically for this gen, and a nice dodge out has resulted in no loss of health state. Sorry, that's not Jake, that's actually Detective Tap. I'm so not used to seeing that in competitive, and we will be seeing the unhook coming through onto Keysop as well. You know, Lapis playing this very, very well.
Well, that's exactly right. Being able to get 3 gens for these 3 hooks here. No tunnel out yet. Well, there is a tunnel out, but no one's been tunneled out yet. And as I shouldn't have spoken, I guess, that was terrible time of Kissel to go down there. No DS or anything like that. So we will be receiving our 3rd hook here. So that does put Lapis in a bit more of a difficult situation, but there's definitely been harder scenarios where survivors have fought back from. So a tunnel out at 2 gens isn't the worst thing, and sometimes it's to be expected as well. So definitely a playable scenario for both teams here.
Oh, fantastic dash coming through there from Yakun. They're getting that hit onto Pero, who will be getting a little bit of nodders, and then Yakun will be kicking this generator and making his way back towards his main gen here. It looks like that tag was huge for Yakun here. We're now sitting in a very 4Kable spot from that particularly bad start game. We are going to be seeing, I think that might have been Feng on this little drop down here, but it is going to be Nia, and Yakun reading Raru like a book will be getting the hit through that window there, and Raru is zoned towards this one area to boot. We are going to be seeing Yakun going for some pretty wonky mind games here, but sadly they will not be coming through. Raru a bit too smart to be falling for that, and is just going to be W keying straight down towards the bottom side of the map here. A very smart decision. We do not want to be giving the killer an unnecessary down top, and Raru is juicing on trees, but that will be the down coming through now, and an eruption proc onto 11 as well. If Yakun is able to save that generator from popping, we are going to be in a fantastic spot, but we do see the aura of that survivor still sitting on that generator. They have just broken away now, which has got to be a good feeling for Rari.
Yeah, sadly, I was about to say, sadly, the Neo was just really well read that chase. There wasn't really much they could do, and just being able to vault that window and that hit coming in straight after was just really well played by Yakun. But we are going to see ourselves heading towards the bottom side, and we will be getting the backward stun on that one. And we are heading towards the roll. That was a bit weird. Sorry. We are going to be getting into a chase with the Sprint Burst Tap, who we will be able to make a connection on and get the straight down. Really well played, being able to get those insta hits. And at this point, we've just slowed Lapis to nothing because we are just forcing them to constantly get these unhooks. And the gen progress, although it was looking really confident before for Lapis, it's just slowed down to naught.
Yeah, no, Yakun shaken off the rust there has started to really warm up towards the end game, and we have been getting consistent hook stages, consistent pressure, which is exactly what he needed towards that start game, but he was unable to achieve. But coming on into this mid game and slowly heading towards what seems to be an end game with our survivors starting to struggle a little bit, has been playing really, really well. Yakun, knowing both his survivors are down towards the bot side of the map, is actually just going to be holding this choke right here. I do think Pero is, yes, just going to be sitting on that hook. Raru and our Feng unable to make their way up towards the top side of the map as of now. Yakun doing a fantastic job at pressuring away from this hook. We do catch out Feng coming in for what seems like an unhook. Yakun just holding that power, making sure she can't get any closer without risking a health state loss here. If we can force second onto Pero here, we're going to be in a very, very good spot.
Oh, that's exactly right. And we get our second hook state. Sorry, we get our second hook state onto Perry there, and we're really happy with that, being able to step away and head towards main, where we can actually keep up the pressure of being able to diminish these gens only further. And the problem is, how is this Nia doing? Because she might be forcing a 4K one scenario here, which is really not what we want as Wesker, because it is definitely a middable win con for the other team, or it does definitely make it easier for your side, so you definitely have to keep up that pressure and head down 6. Exactly what I was thinking. We're going to be heading down to 5 here, who we do see our Nia, who is going to be stepping away from the gen here, and put it in a little bit of an awkward spot. There's no real pallets around here. We've just got the window on Shaq, and we are able to fake it out. But then we go for the vault, and we've got the gold chalice, who won't be giving us the down. We get no real value out of that, considering she was already injured. But we do get the stun here. Really well played by the Nia, being able to just drop that straight away. Keep the chase going. Exactly what you need in this scenario. Buy time for your team to get that one extra gen done. A 4k1 Tycon is much better for them in this scenario.
Yeah, no, that is definitely right here. Oh no, we're seeing another swing through the pallet there paying off for Yakun. He's not even nodding anymore, he just expects it to work. Raru going to be eating the dirt there, and Yakun will be taking him up towards the top side of the map. I think we have an aura on a survivor there, and they have actually managed to get that generator completed, getting a bit of a gen split going, and Raru is not on the death hook either. This is huge. We do see, I think it was an FTP coming through on to Pero there, which is an interesting decision, but I'm sure they've got some sort of strategy behind it. Even with Pero on death hook, I think trading health states can be a very, very risky ordeal. We're going to be seeing Yakun making his way over towards 1 here, where we know that Pero broke away to, but with no sign of our detective tap as of now. We're going to be leaving and making our way down towards 5, making sure this gen doesn't have too much progress. It does have a pretty worrying amount. Maybe we're going to be seeing Lapis turning this game around.
Yeah, there is a chance. We were able to get it down to 1 gen, so we aren't too far off of being able to get out. But if I do vaguely remember, I don't think we actually have a 3 gen. We actually have a pretty good gen split from what I remember. Yeah, exactly. We have 1 down 5, 1 12, 1 around that 9 area. So this is basically one of the best splits you can get, really. But we are going to swing through, and we do get Raru here, who will be taking the down. We're actually going to opt to leave straight away. It looks like we're about healing or gens being done, so we are going to double check on 12, which we'll head to straight away. Question is, are we going to see a survivor here? We do see scratch marks and possibly an insta drop. We are going to be taking the chase onto our Feng here. 2 connections weren't able to make one there, and we do try and get our charge bounds around the side, but we won't be opting to keep. Oh no, we are going to opt to keep the chase in this thing. We're going to drop this straight away, see if we can get her down. I'm sure Raru probably not too far from getting up, and Yakun recognizes that and decides to just head back.
Yeah, no, a little bit worried about our resident slug Raru chilling on the ground underneath this pallet here. I don't think I hear anybody coming in for a pallet save, no, and we will be getting an extra hook state here. A pop goes the Weasel could be crucial for Yakun. I saw the vision with a bit of snowball there. He nearly had a 4K if he could get that down. Onto Feng, sorry, excuse me. But Yakun just going to be cutting his losses and making his way up towards the top map. But we actually do see the final generator popping on the side of Lapis here, doing a fantastic job at getting rid of that final generator. I'm not sure what we're doing here. We mind gaming here. I thought they already dropped down. No, they actually didn't. Nia is still going to be on this top side of the map, and Yakun with an excellent dash. Sorry, that's Feng, not Nia. She's already dead. We will be taking this hook state on to Feng, and as I say that, he is going to drop. I do believe his doors are pretty defendable here. No, sorry, that's all the way down towards the bot map here. Yakun is out for blood, and he wants this 4K0.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's interesting that the doors haven't been checked. You must think that Pyro is somewhere around here. I'm a little bit confused on what's actually being done here, because it looks like we're just really intent on through main, so they must have been seen, but I have no idea where they are. Oh, this gate's been checked, so we know that they're not doing that gate, but that bottom gate is well open to being done and hasn't been checked in a very, very long time, and it seems like we know that as well, and we're actually going to be heading towards the bottom side to double check on it, and it hasn't been done, so maybe that thought process of checking main was well received, because there hasn't been any gate progress yet. Back to this gate where there's also been nothing done. Yeah, wow, okay, so we're just no idea what's going on here.
Yeah, no, we're going to be seeing Yakun just taking the pick up onto our friend, the Feng Min here, and is just going to be taking that extra hook state. These doors are not the best, but I mean, if Pero does escape, it is only the 1 stage out the door, so it's not the worst thing that could possibly happen here. We're going to be seeing Yakun making his way back up towards this hook here, expecting maybe a possible ploy on the side of Lapis, maybe going for a bit of a weird gate open next to the hook. But it is going to be particularly difficult for Pero to try and escape this. Oh, have you seen something?
No, I'm stupid.
That's all right. Maybe Pero is going to be playing for a bit of a hatch escape here.
Yeah, that's actually a possibility, or maybe waiting for Yakun to head down to hatch to start popping a gate. In the scenario where the hatch opens up, it's actually a really nice position to be in if you want to go for a gate force. Yukun to go down to the hatch, then you can do the gate while it's being done. Not the worst case scenario, but we do have a decent line of sight of both gates, so we've definitely got possibility of being able to get a down here onto Pero. Now we are going to head straight down towards 6. Hopefully we're not challenged for the hatch, but it seems like the best gate to do here would be 3, and if it started right now, probably would be done, but it looks like we are going to challenge for hatch. We're heading towards, I believe, yes we are. We are on the wrong side of the hatch, so we won't be able to get that one, and it looks like we are going to be taking chase here. Really not the position you want to be in for Lapis.
Oh, what? Yeah, Yakun getting scammed off of a pretty decent rush there, but no, it does look like it will result in a 4K at 0 on the side of Lapis versus Kitchaze. Our first half of the Wesker set has gone very heavily in Yakun's favor. I mean, with that rough start game, being able to pull off a 4K 0 is a very fantastic result here. It looks like we've kind of lost sight of Pero, but they have just been stealthing around this rock here, going to be crouching down, begging for forgiveness, and that will be the health state taken on to Pero here. So yes, we're going to be seeing Lapis's killer. I believe it will be Raru on the Mastermind coming through after this to see if he can match this result, but I don't know if that will be happening. I mean, a 4K 0 is a pretty solid result on the Mastermind. It is the kind of thing you definitely want to be aiming for, and he should be able to just take a hook here. Yet no hook dead zones for our good friend Yakun, and this will just about wrap up this trial. So give me your thoughts, Stars. I'm pretty confident with that result if I'm Kitchaze right now.
Well, that's exactly right. Being able to actually stop anyone from getting out of the gate in a Wesker set is really, really well played. You see a lot of Wesker sets. I know early in the season, it used to be like 5 stages was for a Wesker set. It was something crazy like that. Was the average for a while. So yeah, being able to work it all the way up to a 4K 0, extremely, extremely well played. But regardless, we are going to see the teams swap, so we'll be seeing Lapis move over to the killer side. So we will be jumping out real quick into intermission, and we'll be right back with. Welcome back, everyone, where we will be seeing Lapis step up towards the killer after reaching a 4K 0 last game. Seeing the Lapis killer looking for a that was a bit weird, looking for a 4K 1, probably hoping Kitchaze will be looking for an 11 stage here. All they need is one door, and they've got the win, and obviously a 4K 0 tie. But it looks like we're going to be putting the pressure straight onto the survivors as we do find our Meg straight away within the first 10 seconds of the game. Really nice being able to keep up that pressure, and we're going to try and get around it. We won't be able. That connection on the second set of bounds there, really well played by our Meg, being able to get that vault there. Very nice. And we are going to be stuck in this awkward little pallet. We won't be able to dodge here, though. We are going to be forced into a little bit of an awkward position, injured at this time in the game. Going to have a good chase here, because last game we actually saw 2 gens basically pop for the first chase.
Yeah, no, that is definitely right here as we take this chase on to our friend Rizumu here. Going to be dropping that car pallet and breaking away over towards the 1 area of the map here. Running in the 3 gen is very, very admirable. We're going to be seeing a vault of that window, but Meg is not going to be vaulting back in the Mastermind's face, and it should just be our first down coming through. Kitchaze fumbling a little bit here on the survivor side is going to be eating that down quite quickly into the trial here, and we are going to be seeing our killer with the use of brutal strength, which is just going to help shut down these chases a whole lot quicker.
No, that's exactly right. See if we can get rid of those pallets straight away. Keep up the pressure. That extra 0.8 seconds or whatever it is definitely saves a lot of time. But we do get a gen done for this chase, so we will be getting some value out of it, which is really, really good here, especially with the Scourge Hook popping in the distance. But getting that second one done will be quite more difficult. Looks like we are going to be getting our bounce here. Volta, but I think we might just be able to make it. Not too sure about this one. We do. Oh, okay. Apparently we don't. That felt like we should have, but we didn't. We will be taking that hit there, so definitely good scenario to be in. And we've still got Pop as well. If we can find a gen being done, we're very happy.
Yeah, no, definitely we are going to be continuing this chase on to... Oh, Carla, I think. Yes, no, we are going to be continuing this chase on to Carla, who is still up towards that 11 side of the map here, going to be vaulting that pallet, and we're going to be seeing our killer just swing straight around and is going to be able to get the down onto Carla there. And we should just be seeing a return back to that hook. No, actually, accepting that unhook will come through is just going to be picking up our friend Carla here, taking them to a hook and letting that extra pain res do its work here. We do see Fathy is going to be FTPing Rizumu as well, just making sure that there's no early tunnel out on the side of Kitchaze here, and their second generator popping at the same time is setting them off to a relatively good start. We do see that pain res being used, but I gotta say, I think that might have been a bit of a waste. I don't think realistic the survivors have any other gen pressure across the board right now.
No, that's exactly right. With that extra pain res, yeah, it's not really going to do too much, but still, at least we know that it's going to be quite a while before a third gen of the trial pops. Now, we are going to be taking this chase onto our Feng here, who will break this pallet, and we are going to try and fake the charge, and we do get it to work, and we just make that connection as well. Really good fake by our killer here, and being able to get the down on this Fang, we'll be able to get some value by kicking that gen as well. Being able to really keep up this pressure, and we get a really nice hook here as well. Is it Scourge? It's not.
No, it isn't, but we still have our hook in our top generators, which is where you want to be on the coal tower here. And we've also got a persisting injure on Carla here. Carla not being able to reset as of now is going to be great in terms of giving information to our mastermind here. We do see some scratch marks heading up towards this unhook here, and it looks like Kitchaze are very desperate to get our friend off the hook here. I'm not sure what's happening. This is looking like we might be conceding a tunnel already. An extra hook state onto Fathy here would be huge, and especially since they are infected, they're not going to make it very far before that slowdown kicks in. And I mean, even with that slowdown, you're just zoned to the edge map. Yeah, this is going to be a second down onto Fathy here, and another hook in our active generators. This is just seeming like a bit of a fumble on the side of Kitchaze.
Yeah, well, it looks like that we are going to be doing the tunnel out here, but what you've also got to remember is that this was actually our FTP player, so we know that basically nobody's going to really be around to be able to help them unless it's direct hit takes. So that's a really nice thing for a killer to know, that there's no FTPs that will be coming out onto this person. So really nice tunnel out choice, and we will be looking for someone stealthing around this one side, but we don't actually find anyone. We will be heading towards our 12 area, breaking the door, heading towards middle, possibly no, we're going to opt to stay towards this 3-gen. Really nice spot to be in. Being able to have this 3-gen up and tunnel someone out in it, having all this power is just such a good chance. It is just good for any killer. This specific scenario, having someone on that 12 hook, having the 11, 1, 12 gens all still up, it's just so difficult for survivors to do anything.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely right. It does make it extremely difficult for our survivors to do a whole lot of anything here, but we do see a fourth generator popping on the side of Kitchaze here, but we're still sitting in a very powerful 3-gen here. This looks like a bit of a mistake from our friend Uni, who's going to be just eating a health state, and with that Jewel Beetle coming through, they're going to be unable to take this save. We do see Rizumu coming in for this unhook here. We do see no attempt of a body block from our killer, and we do just concede this health state loss. I'm not sure what Uni's doing here. We are going to be seeing a possible bit of snowball here. We do get a down on to Uni on top of that, and a slug right underneath that hook, and extra pain res coming off of our Claudette. This is not a great spot for Kitchaze to be in.
No, I'm not sure what that was, because Rizumu was able to get the save there. Really, the Claudette should have just left straight away. Not exactly sure what was going on, because they stuck around like they should have. And it was, yeah, just a really big mistake there, because now you've got 2 gens on this top. Oh my god, you've got 2 hooks on this top side, 3 gens still up. Most of them have 0 progress. This is just a terrible situation to be in. And we've got our Feng as well, who's fully infected. Our Jake, who's injured. This is just such a bad spot for Kitchaze to be in.
Yeah, no, we are going to be seeing a reset coming through onto our survivors, making sure that, I mean, they're not giving any free downs, but I think free downs, we're past the point of free downs. It's too little too late. We've got 2 survivors hooked in the active 3-gen here, and I mean, this is a strong 3-gen, but it's something you can play around on Cold Tower. If Kitchaze had focused these top gens a little bit better in the early game, then we may have been seeing a different outcome here. We do see a nice unhook coming through from Carla. Carla is going to also be going for a trade onto you. Not sure I agree with, as Carla is also a Death Hook survivor. Oh, Carla is a Death Hook survivor, right? You have to remind me. I think they are. No, maybe they're not actually. I don't think they are. Maybe I've just made a bit of a blunder there. We do see Uni running straight down towards that bottom side of the map, and we're actually going to be seeing the Mastermind flick around and head back up towards the top side of the map, not wanting to risk this 3-gen going anywhere.
No, that's exactly right. We could avoid that. That would be an excellent scenario for us to be in. We do continue this chase here. We will be getting the down onto Izuma here. Really, really well played. Being able to just keep up that pressure is exactly what we need. And we will be actually opting to look at this Fang for a little bit, but we don't really do anything about it. We just decide to leave. And we will be stepping towards this hook where we will be getting Izuma out of the game. Out and heading straight back towards this top side, being able to just keep up that pressure, exactly the scenario we want to be in. And we will be getting the hit on this gen actually in quite a bit of progress. That was about 75 before that pop came in, so definitely Kitchaze not giving up at all, really keeping up that pressure, really making sure that the killer is just playing to their best of their possibility just to keep themselves in the game.
You know, that is right. We are seeing, I mean, the killer of Lapis here is just doing a fantastic job at keeping this pressure up and really, really prioritizing punishing the mistakes of Kitchaze here. We do see another down onto Uni here, who I believe went into the second stage. So if Uni's taken out of this trial at this point, it's going to be very difficult for our friends in Kitchaze to come back from this. If they have been on that gen from the get-go, maybe they're going to be able to pop it, but with their friend Uni being taken out of the trial here, this is looking more and more like a possible win on the side of Lapis by the second. Our killer just playing absolutely fantastically here in terms of punishing once again punishing the mistakes of Kitchaze and making sure that he continues to defend this 3-gen. With this gen not really having a whole bunch of progress, that is kind of what I believe to be the final seal in the tomb of Kitchaze. Our killer just playing really, really well, and so far the survivors being unable to keep up. All they can realistically aim for here is a possible tie.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And even then, a 4K0 might be a bit difficult to meet unless Carla has an absolutely insane chase here. And going for that vault, I'm not really sure it's going to happen. We'll be taking a little Lego tile here and getting that straight vault off. We are able to drag it out, but we're going to have a really long chase here in terms of actually getting escape, and we'll be able to get this pallet drop. We don't. We opt to just keep it up, and oh, we go for the swing, but we don't actually get it. It was a short swing. If we went for the long one, that possibly could have connected, but we do drag this chase out, almost get the blind, not quite, and we will be heading to this TNL, going straight for the vault. Now we go around the side, and it looks like we're actually going to head back up towards these gens. We're worried about them getting done.
Yeah, no, we are playing very safe on the side of Lapis right now, making sure we confirm this win and not the tie. We do sadly miss out on that dash onto Faffy there, who will be able to break away as a result. We're going to be seeing Lapis Killer just doubling back, making sure he doesn't let anyone get onto this generator at 1. I think we saw Carla for a split second there, down towards 2. This gen has just a massive amount of progress already. Kitchaze, for all their shortcomings this game, have been fantastic with getting massive amounts of gen pressure through.
Yeah, it's very strange that the early game had good gen pressure as well, but the entire game, now that it's 2 survivors, they're still keeping up insane gen pressure, being able to really make sure that the Lapis Killer is playing to the best of their possible ability. But we do really want to make sure that we can get this 11 or 1 gen done, because if we do get 1 stage out, we will be confirming the win, which would be amazing here for Kitchaze. But we do take the chase down towards this 10 side, where we'll be taking the first hit. The question is that 1 gen being done, and do they have enough time? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure they would, but man, this gen is already roaring. We're doing a really, really good job at continuing the pressure with Kitchaze, but I mean, all it takes is 1 pop goes the weasel onto this now, 1 overcommitment from our killer, and they should just be able to get the regression they need onto this generator here. We do see the down onto Carla here, and we're actually going to be seeing our Mastermind Slug play it a bit risky here to try and find Faffy, who is somewhere across the board right now, injured, groaning and moaning, making sure the killer knows where she is if he gets too close. And I mean, yeah, no, I think Lapis playing this very safely, just going to be returning to this generator here, making sure it doesn't pop with some kind of sneak attack from the survivors of Kitchaze. And yeah, no, our killer is doing a fantastic job thus far. We are going to be making our way over towards 10 here, expecting Faffy to be stealthing nearby, maybe playing for the gen here at 11. We do hear a bit of progress onto it, but as of now, no sign of our Fang. We're going to be dashing straight down towards the bottom side of the map here, trying to catch our Fang men out. But I mean, what really can Fang do here, Stasi? There's not much she can do. She actually goes for the pick on the color.
No, that's exactly right. It's definitely a really difficult situation to be in because now we've got eyes on both the survivors. We do have live here, so we're able to make some distance. But the problem is that Jen, has been regressing for a little bit now, so it's going to be difficult to actually get it done. And now we've actually got a trail as well following us. It's going to be pretty difficult to get away from this one with Mastermind's mobility. We will be following, looking for this survivor, seeing if we can find the thing. And we do. We saw for just a second there. We see them going around main, going towards this 11 side. We see them getting more distinct, and now we do have eyes on our Fang here, and it does look like this will be a 4K1, which will mean we will actually get the win. That is an insane result if it does occur, because it is pretty common that Mastermind does get stages out. It's definitely nothing to be disappointed about, but man, getting a 4K0, 4K1 as Mastermind, insanely well played by both players.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. We are going to be taking this final chase on to Faffy here. Nice drop of that pellet coming through. Going to be playing for a bit of distance here. Another pellet fake coming through from our Mastermind, but Faffy is not falling for it. This time we're going to be W-keying straight over towards the shack here, where I believe we still have quite a pellet-dense bottom map. If we can get past the shack window, and we do, we're going to be seeing Faffy mid-vaulting there and making their way back and around for another loop of the shack here. A fantastic dash coming through from Lapis's killer, and we will be confirming the down on to Faffy here. Carla is getting pretty close to bleeding out, but they are on the death hook, so it actually would not matter at all if Carla were to bleed out, as long as our killer can close the hatch and make sure they don't get out. We are going to be seeing a win for Lapis, and we do find a sneaky cowboy Jake chilling down towards the shack here, looking like he's crawling towards the hatch, but it will not be coming through. So yes, Lapis taking Kitchaze's pick of Mastermind is no small feat, and I'm very excited to see what they can do jumping on into the next set, which I believe I said was, what was it again? Blight, that's right. So we're going to be heading on to the Auto Haven Wreckers. I hope you are all very excited, and you all know the drill. We are going to be jumping out of these games here. We'll catch you after a very short break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back on in to Lapis versus Kitchaze here. We're going to be jumping headfirst into the Blight set, but sadly, the survivors of Kitchaze did bring the wrong offering loading in, so it has, I should say, resulted in a -2 on their side. We're going to be seeing our Blight for Lapis coming in first is, of course... Oh, sorry, no. The Blight for Lapis coming in first is Lapis's pick of killer, so I'm very excited to see what they can do here. We've got a pretty standard perk loadout here, consisting of Pop Goes the Weasel, Eruption, Shadowborn, and Corrupt Intervention, so I'm very excited to see what we can see from our Blight here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Really got to keep up that pressure early, and that's exactly what we do. Is we found our Nia very, very fast, but we opt to leave checking a different gen actually, and we are just absolutely zooming here with our Blighted Crow, Blighted Rat combo, which is the stand. Well, it isn't the standard. It has to be done on Blight. So yeah, definitely can be really, really insane, that movement. But we actually do find another survivor here, and it is Carla, the last survivor to die last trial. See if we can get them first this time, possibly get a good tunnel out going, and we will be trying to get them around this pallet here, trying to outplay them, but no, we will be seeing that pallet drop just a few too many bounces, and we couldn't quite get that hit there, but we will be taking the chase on them towards this middle part of the map where we don't really have anywhere to use, because we already used that pallet, and we are just going to be taking a hit and running towards Shack here. Can we get the quick down? No. But we do get some really good value out of getting that Shack gen gone. Sorry, Shack pallet gone. And we just opt to leave straight away.
You know, Carla taking our Blight on a little too juicy of a chase there. That Cowboy Jake going a little too hard for our Lapis killer to deal with here. We are going to be making our way towards the Shack. And dry kicking it with Eruption, and a first gen popping for the first down on Blight is definitely something you don't see too often. So I'm very excited to see how the rest of this game plays out. We are just going to be getting rid of this pallet here and continuing the chase on to Mr. Carla here. I do believe this should be a down coming through. Yes, it will. Our Blight not too rushed and not going to be getting shoelaced there, so that will be Carla eating the dirt. We're going to be taking our first hook stage of the trial and should subsequently be able to get our first Pop Goes the Weasel as well. So I mean, with this, I think this is a bit of a, what are these gens bottom? I think this might be a 4 gen down here if there's a gen over towards 7. So definitely, yeah, there is. This is a very strong gen setup for our Blight here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Although we got off to a little bit of an awkward start, we do have that support of having those gens and that -2 as well. Although it's definitely not what you want in games like this, it does. It will obviously make an effect on the final result, which will give our Blight a huge lead here. Just that 1 gen difference really makes just such a valuable change. But yeah, we will be seeing that FTP come in from Razumu. And we will be taking the chase, probably looking for Carla here again. But no, we actually found Razumu possibly going for the FTP player. Definitely not a bad tunnel out choice. Get that FTP out of the way now. And we actually are able to cut them off here. And will be taking them down onto Razumu, where only 1 gen has still been completed.
Yeah, no, I mean, Lapis off to a fantastic start on the killer side here. Our Blight very powerful, definitely showing why they picked this killer. And Rizumu going to be eating that hook at the top mid, or bot mid, sorry, side, I should say. We're getting... Oh, I thought we were about to get spun there on the side of Faffy, but that will be the health set coming through. And now we've got 2 injures, or sorry, 1 injure. It's literally exactly as I say that, dude. Come on, you couldn't let the caster's curse kick in a second later. 1 injure down the bottom side of the map and 1 hook stage to go with it. So, I mean... yeah, our Blight just off to a fantastic start. We are getting a little bit lost here. Going to be coming up towards the midsection of the map and just coming to a stop in front of Rizumu's hook. I do have a sneaking suspicion that our Meg is going to be our Deliverance player, as they did get that first unhook, and they do have 4 other people in combination with their current perks. So, I mean, I guess we'll just have to find out. But if they are, then all this camping that our Blight has done thus far is going to be for nothing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Having this gen on top, down bottom, sorry, really does help us. But we are going to be able to just be sitting here waiting for Rizumu to go to second here. And we're actually going to be going with our Deliverance here. We'll be getting that FTP Deliverance combo. And we'll be taking that straight mend hit. And we're going to see if we can take this chase towards the top side. See if we can get some value around these barrels. And we can. We actually force a miss here. And able to drop that Trax gen. And yeah, we just opt to leave straight away.
Yeah, no, personally, if I'm this Blight, I'm not really going to be getting too far away from these gens bottom. This is one of the better 4 gens I've seen spawn on the Auto Haven Rick. What's the name of this map again?
ARP.
Azerov's resting place. That's right. I always nearly call it Azerov's wrecking place because I did that once on stream and it was really embarrassing. But we are going to be continuing this chase onto Faffy here, and we should be able to get it down in this 4gen. But anyways, what I was saying, this is one of the best 4gens I've seen spawn on the bot side of the Azerov's resting place. And it is because often that dump truck gen will spawn facing the top side of the map, which makes it a little bit less defendable on the side of the killer, but it spawning facing bottom is just absolutely huge for our killer here, and they're taking maximum advantage of it. They will not be letting these generators go. And I mean, returning over towards 7 here, we can apply Pop Goes the Weasel to this generator here, hit it with Eruption as well, making sure there's no survivor stealthing nearby on the side of our killer as well. Our Blight playing this very well.
Well, that's right. We've got to really get that Eruption Pop value. You know, all of our perks, every single one of the 4 of them giving equal value this game. So definitely really what you want there. And we actually are going to be taking the chase onto this Feng, who will be being able to dodge that as well. I'm not sure if there's a Mend here there, sorry, but we are able to dodge that. And we will be taking the chase onto this Jake instead. We'll be trying to get the hit onto Carla, almost a sidestep, not quite able to dodge that one though. We'll be taking it. Now we do have 3 injured survivors here, 1 on Mend. And it's going to be pretty difficult to get gen stunned in this scenario. We've really just keeping up pressure extremely well, and we are able to utilize our perks here in a really nice way where we can just keep up that gen regression on this bottom side, but we do see a gen popping towards the top end of the map.
Yeah, man, this 4gen is absolutely munted here. An FTP or a possible Fat Finger coming through from Kitchaze there. I definitely think they're probably in a safe position to reset all the way on the top side of the map, but I mean, if they're feeling that worried about somebody going down, then you got to do what you got to do. We're going to be making our way over towards our gens at 5 and then dashing straight back to 7, maybe expecting somebody to be stealthing nearby to get straight back onto this generator, but thus far unsuccessful. We do see a crow fly. I thought that might have been our killer that triggered that, but no, we have actually been able to find somebody at this Z-wall here. We are going to be catching Yuni out on his signature Nia outfit here, going to be running straight up towards the top side of the map. Our Blight with some nice little insta rushes coming through. will be able to get that down. Man, that was really fantastic use of Blight's insta rushes, and we should be able to get a hook in our 4-gen yet again. We know Deliverance is out of the way, but I also know that Uni is quite a candidate for Decisive Strike dead hard, as we saw last time. Last time Kitchaze played against Blight, he is extremely good at chasing. He's using a bit of that reverse logic where instead of putting the worst chaser on DHDS, you actually put one of the best ones. So I'm very excited to see if he gets tunneled off that hook. But Rizumu getting caught out of position here will be eating that down. And I mean, there's no further reason for our Blight to try and tunnel here.
No, that's exactly right. Really putting that pressure on Lapis. Sorry, pressure on Kitchaze. Really well played. We do see the second hook coming onto Rizumu. That will be our 5th hook state of the trial. And in this 4-gen, I'm sure that there's many more to come, because this is just such an awkward spot for the gen spawns for Kitchaze here. But we do get that unhook onto Rizumu, so we're able to keep them back in the trial. Heading towards this top side as well, we will be trying to take the Blight, hopefully take them away. But yeah, exactly. Beirut knows that you just can't afford to really take a chase down there, especially with 4 survivors still alive in the trial. Maybe in a 3v1, maybe you could get away with it, but not with every single survivor still up.
Yeah, no, we have caught out Uni here on the near now. We're going to be looping this 4 lane. Not really the best tile to play against. The Blight just crouching in front of that pallet there. We will be seeing that rush come through and the subsequent down on to Uni yet again. A possible firecracker save excellently timed on the side of our survivors there. That will be Uni getting off the killer's shoulder for now at least. And we're going to be seeing our Blight rush straight onto the back of Uni. No, actually electing to head back to the 4-gen here, where Jake has been caught with his pants down and will be giving a health stay.
Yeah, definitely really well played there by our Fang, being able to get that firecracker makes a huge difference in the trial, being able to stop those hook states coming in, and we actually get the heal off as well, and we take the damage. So definitely a really, really good time to heal. But we are able to stop the actual hit coming in here, and we actually see the hit coming in onto Fang at least. And now we really have our pick of the litter here, because we have all 4 survivors in the trial injured. If we're able to just find someone quick and get a quick down, this will make a huge difference in what's happening. But we do see these heals. Oh, wow, 2 heals coming in straight away.
Yeah, no, we do see some scratch marks down towards the bottom side here. Rizumu going to be on the Meg, juicing here at the shack. Going to be vaulting that window, and we're going to be seeing Beirut just kicking this generator with that eruption, making sure if he can get this down, he is going to be in a very good position here. Getting a little bit lost here. Our Meg doing a bit of juicing and is actually going to be vaulting back into Beirut's loving arms here. We're going to be able to take that health state and hopefully a very short eruption. That is going to be eruption coming through. A fantastic dash from our Blight here, and we will be able to get yet another hook in our bottom side of the map. I actually think our Meg is also on death hook, so this is going to force us into a 3v1 at 2 gens left with this 4-gen. This is going to be very difficult for Kitchaze. I definitely feel for them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Being in a scenario against a Blight where they've got such high mobility and you've got all these gens right next to each other, it just makes doing anything so difficult. But we do see Rizumu is finally out of the trial here, and being able to just keep this to a 3v1 is going to tip the scales so much in Lapis's favor here, and keeping up that gen pressure just is so instrumental here. But being able to do it in that little 4-gen area is just going to be so difficult. But we do see the chase on Feng here. Will be taking that quick hit, and we're just going to recognize that we don't want to let these gens go. We're going to head straight back up to this bottom side of the map, and going to be pretty difficult for Kitchaze to pop anything here.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're just playing very safely, as is the standard with generators like this. We are going to be seeing a bit of a flare coming through from Carla. Oh my goodness, my voice just broke. A bit of a flare coming through from Carla there, but still zoned towards the bot side of the map. But not giving that health state too early is going to be huge. Now we can just take this M1 and run top side. But Beirut's rushes are going to be back. We could play for a potential quick down here. We're going to be vaulting that window. Oh, I'm not sure what just happened there. I haven't seen that spectator bug before. We do see that gen down towards 7 popping, but Faffy getting caught with his pants down is going to be giving the down, and a beamer save coming through from Carla is going to buy his teammate out of that scenario and should just be able to make it back up towards the top side of the map here. Now Beirut's going to start playing even more carefully, as we do know this gen towards Jack has quite a bit of progression on it.
Yeah, Carla with the clutch save there. That was instrumental in being able to keep this team alive, but we were able to get that 4th gen done. So really well played by the survivors, being able to really keep up that pressure. And we see the heal coming in onto Carla as well. Soon I'm sure we're getting a heal onto that Faggot, being able to reset and restart. We do see our Blight thinking they found someone here. They did. We're actually able to find our Nia here, who will be taking that first hit around Shaq and trying to take the chase towards the middle of the map. We ideally want to head to the bottom, but this part of the map will do as well, considering the gen was already done. And we are going to try and take them away from the 3 gen, but we can't. We don't really have anywhere to go.
Yeah, no, we're going to be taking this hook state on to Uni here. This will be a second hook state for our Nia, and we should just return back to that 3 gen here. We're going to be seeing Battery just rushing straight back towards these generators. This Shaq one not having as much progression as they would like, and we should be seeing, I think we saw 2 survivors here over towards the dump truck. And I think Beirut's seen that too, is actually going to be trailing whoever it was that left, maybe going towards the unhook here, and actually just going to be hitting this generator with Pop Goes the Weasel. We see some scratch marks leading away from the gen here, knowing that Beirut knows where both the active survivors are. Is just going to be pre-leaving that safely, and actually catching another person out, well, sorry, our second person out up here towards mid. I haven't got a good enough look. I think that was our Feng. So Carla is somewhere across the board right now, and Beirut seems very, very worried about where.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But no, we do see the unhook coming in, though. So we are able to get that, and we are actually going to be pressuring this middle generator as well in Shaq, seeing if we can get some pressure on that. But we do take a hit here for our first hit onto Carla, seeing if we can get that down as well, because we've got our rushes back up, so we are able to make this quick connection, really quick 2-tap onto Carla, exactly what we need in this scenario. We are going to turn this trial into a 2v1, and this time I'm sure we're going to be looking at the wall. Really don't want to give away another flash save, and we'll be taking Carla to second here.
Yeah, no, we will. We're going to be dashing back towards this 3gen. I feel like I've said that 500 million times this trial.
Yeah.
We are going to be seeing a broken status onto Carla here. We're just going to be waiting for... Oh, that...
What was that?
These spectator bugs,
What was that?
We're going to be seeing Beirut nodding at that generator until it blows up, and we will be making our way up towards top yet again. Carla, not quite going to be able to get our renewal off there, and we're going to be seeing Beirut just looking at him on the ground for a second there, just letting him know who's boss. And this is actually going to be a death on to Carla, forcing us down into a 2v1 with this very strong 3gen down towards the bot side. Kitchaze did a fantastic job at popping the 4gen, but they still have to deal with this really disgusting gen split here. And I mean, there's not a single pallet left on this bot side of the map here.
No, that's exactly right. And you know, all these resources have been used, and now that Carla's out of the game, turning it into a 2v1, it's just making it more difficult by the second for the survivors being able to get any gens done. We actually saw Faffy there hiding behind the gen, but wasn't able to really get anything done there. We'll be taking a hit and a quick down as well. Looks like this game is very quickly coming to a close, and we actually opt to leave as well. See if we can find our Nia here, going straight for the 4K1.
Yeah, no, I mean, with Uni injured, it is definitely not a bad idea. They can't really be hiding too many places, and as I say that, they are going to be getting caught out, and a fantastic rush coming through from Beirut, shaking the hell out of his camera. That will be the 4K1 guaranteed for the killer of Lapis here. So definitely off to a very strong, I mean, not start, but off to a strong start, off to a strong mid-game, and a fantastic end-game to suit. We do see Kitchaze able to pop the 4gen, but a 4K1 is still a very strong result on this killer Beirut. Going to be looking at Uni on the hook there for a second, just to once again show him who is boss, and returning straight back down to where we knew our slug was just moments ago. And as long as we can close this hatch, there's no chance of our friend Faffy escaping. Until Beirut starts playing it very risky like this is when things start going downhill, but surely not.
I was about to say, he stepped away for 2 seconds, there's no way, but yeah, we are able to get that hatch closed there, and now there's really nothing that Faffy can do besides bleed out. Now they are 2 hook, oh well, it doesn't matter, they were found anyway. So it looks like that will be the end of the game. There will be a 4K1 for Lapis, really well played, and the Kitchaze killer going to be coming in, ideally looking for a 4K2, and doesn't want the... Oh, wait, no, wait. I'm sorry. It's right. Yeah, so... Sorry, so actually the Kitchaze killer will be looking for a 4K3, and the the Lapis survivors are ideally looking for a 4K1. So Lapis in a really, really good situation right now. 4K1 definitely a really attainable result. But regardless, we will be going to the next set of the next game where we'll be seeing Kitchaze swap towards the killer. So we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to what could possibly be the final game of our Blight set here, of our series here, considering that Kitchaze have a pretty difficult scenario to pull off here. It's going to be very, very hard to get a 4K3 win condition. 4K2 is the tie, so really, really tough. Yeah, when you're looking for a 4K3, you know the odds are against you from the start. It's just a terrible situation to be in. There's no other way to really get around it.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're absolutely right. We are going to be seeing the blood favor coming through on Blight here. I'd just like to comment on that real quick. I'm not even going to say I might not agree with it. I don't agree with blood favor on Blight. I think it's definitely not necessary. But I know Yakun isn't really a Blight main. This isn't a killer he loves playing. And so he's just maybe going to be looking for some slightly quicker downs here. We're going to be vaulting this shack window. Raru getting a little bit caught off guard there. This should be our first hit coming through here in a second. Yes, Raru going to be eating this swing. If we get blood favor value here and I look like an idiot, I swear to God, we're going to be taking our chase over to this 4-lane. Raru getting a little bit tripped up here, and Yakun is going to be getting the down. Thank goodness, no blood favor value. And that will be our first hook stage of the game coming through even faster than we saw last game. So how maybe Yakun's going to rein it back.
Yeah, there's definitely a chance, but the problem is that Kitchaze, they just need to pop 4 gens. They don't even need to really get anyone out. They don't need to pop that last gen. They just need to make sure that they get to a 3-gen scenario, and then they're done. You know, that's it. Lapis are in a really good position. So wow, being able to pressure that middle gen as well, that had a ton of progress. That was sitting at about 90, but we do find a blood favor here as we're going past. The thing about blood favor as well is that actually can be deleted as well. It can just be cleansed out of the trial. So it's definitely rough when you have a survivor who just spawns near it and then, oh, that's gone. We've only got 3 perks now, when you could have opted for something that's, you know, much better, like gen regression. So yeah, definitely a gamble, but nobody's been able to find it yet, although it's facing the middle of the map. And we do be able to get this middle shack, this middle pallet out of the way as we take the chase onto our tap here. We'll be trying to get around, see if we can get a hit. We do get rid of another pallet here, trying to keep up this pressure as we go for the vault and taking them down past the blood favor. We'll be heading straight back up towards the middle. Pero playing really well here.
Yeah, no, I mean, Pero, as per the usual, doing a bit of juicing on the detective tap here. We're going to be continuing chase onto them. You're not able to get these bounces to collide as of now. We're seeing about 4 rushes back in the wallet here, and we should be seeing a tag coming through on to Pero. Yes, we will indeed. That blood favor proccing as well as we make our way down towards the bottom side of the map here. A little bit of unique pathing coming through from Pero, and we will be able to survive 3 rushes, only 2 left to survive, and it looks like Yakun is going to be dropping this chase for Raru anyway. We do see our first generator popping in the distance, so Yakun can only let 1 more go. Now he can let no more go. He's sitting on his win condition here. And this is looking like Lapis having a very dominant performance on their own pick here.
No, that's exactly right. And this is what you want as well. When you start dominating your own pick, definitely a good feeling. Especially when you're already 1 up. You've won the enemy team's pick. So definitely a really good situation to be in. And when you know you're just looking for 1 more gen, and you've got 3 survivors not being chased, you can just have 3 people working on different gens. You're not going to be able to stop that. There's no way that you're going to be able to stop all 3 gens from popping. It's just too difficult. But we do able to at least slow this one down. We will be taking the hit onto that. Let's see if we can find another survivor. We don't see this hill gen being worked on, but we do see the heal coming in onto our tap there. And we're looking down towards this bottom gen. And yeah, we're spending a lot of time down here, but for good reason. We actually do see a survivor here.
Yeah, no, this is going to be our thing. Going to be juicing around the non-pallet side of this tile here. You're actually getting a little bit lost here, thinking they maybe jumped into the locker. I'm not sure what happened there. I didn't actually catch where Feng went myself, but I think they just passed over towards the pallet there. You're going to be using those rushes to head back down towards the bot side of the map here, and reset on the Kisop here has meant that Lapis are going to be in a pretty solid position here. All 4 survivors reset, 3 gens remaining in pressure on at least 2 of them. We're in a pretty solid position here. We're going to be taking chase yet again onto Pero at his signature short wall, but that will be a bit of a Pokos hit coming through on to our detective tap, and this is looking like we might be seeing a 2-tap here. We do indeed eruption procking on 2 of our generators. A bit of a fumble coming through from Pero there, kind of running back into our killer, which is a bit unfortunate to see.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the thing is, though, it doesn't really matter because this is the second hook of the trial. He doesn't really have a tunnel out yet. I mean, yeah, sure, Pira's on first, and you've got another survivor on first, but it isn't too bad in terms of how the survivor's doing. At this point, sometimes in games, there are already people that have been tunneled out, so really well played by Lapis to be able to avoid that and just keep up such a solid game going. And we do see this chase. I actually go into this Nia here, who I do believe was the other hook survivor, but we do take that hit there, looking a little bit awkward. We've been getting a lot of Pokos today. It's been absolutely unreal. We do take the chase towards this 5 side, trying to avoid the hit, and we're able to actually step around that tree, and we're actually doing really well here.
Yeah, no, that goes our win con. There we're down to 2 generators left remaining. Yakun has to 4K at 2 if he doesn't want to drop the set point here. It's not looking too good in that regard. We're going to be able to get a hit onto Raru, but it is going to be a dead hard. Sadly, they will be able to make distance up towards the top side of the map. A reset coming through on a Pero, and we're going to be seeing Raru pathing towards the pallet there. Very well played, and Yakun not quite going to be able to bump on anything, and that is going to be our 4th generator popping, signifying the win for our friends in Lapis here. Raru doing a fantastic job at breaking away from that. That will be the down coming through, but not like it matters. Lapis will be taking the win here. A fantastic game being played out.
No, that's exactly right. And, you know, it's just really well played by Lapis, being able to keep up this absurd amount of pressure. And we do see Raru will be taking that 2nd hook, and we've only got 3 hooks at the time that there is 1 gen left. Definitely pretty far behind. It is looking like we're actually going to be seeing stages at the door here, and compared to that 4K1 last game, extremely well played.
Yeah, no, just night and day in terms of results here. Lapis showing why this is their killer pick. And I think, honestly, even if Kitchaze won the first set here, I think they might have been playing for a tiebreak win, which is what, I mean, it's a bit of a gamble for teams, but some teams will literally just concede the other team's set in order to try and guarantee a win in the tiebreaker, which is a bit more awkward for both teams. And I think Kitchaze might have been going for that, and taking that loss on Mastermind is just too brutal for them. It has kind of just resulted in their loss from the get-go here. We're going to be taking this chase on to, I'm not quite sure who this is actually. This is going to be Kissop on the... What's that? What's the name of the survivor again? Felix. That's right, yeah. Felix going to be taking his chase down towards the bottom side of the map here, and there should be a hit coming through. It will indeed. But I mean, we just know there's going to be pressure on that gen up towards the top side of the map, and it's just not looking too good for Yakun here. We're going to be rushing onto the back of Kissop yet again, but the final gen has popped in the meantime. And I believe, honestly, our survivors should just be opening whatever gate spawn topside and taking these outs.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You've got both of the gens, so both of the gates on the other side of the map, and I'm sure that both of them... Oh no, we couldn't even bounce on anything. Now we've given up any chance of being able to get over there and stop someone from getting out. It looks like, yeah, we're just going to opt to sit at this choke point. Make sure we don't give up extra stages. Although you know you've already lost, it's still best to play for the best result you have and have a better KDA, I guess, as they call it. So better stage ratio, So we're going to try and make sure that nobody is able to save Kiss up here and really just keep up at least that 1 kill. And looks like we actually haven't seen any survivors leave yet, although the gens are done. We might actually be going in for a save here.
Surely not, that would be ridiculous. He's all the way bottom. They'd just be conceding even more stages to our killer here. It's going to be Deliverance on the side of Kissop here. He's got the sprint burst. Will he be able to make the hatch? It's not looking good for Yakun, and that will be the 4 out coming through from Lapis. Just salt to the wound with absolute domination of Kitchaze here. What a series being played out from Lapis. Kitchaze just not able to keep up, and that will be the win confirmed for Lapis time and time over. Even with the win con being met They just had to take another W with that 4-out. So a fantastic, fantastic game being played out. But yes, of course, this will wrap up this series. A clean 2-0 sweep from Lapis. And I will be leaving you here as we jump on into the next series of the evening, which I have forgotten the teams for. So I'm not even going to bother looking.
It is. I'll look instead then. It is
Yes.
Outcast and Lazarus. And then to finish tonight, we've got Inception versus Source.
All right, well, sweet as. Stasi, are you staying on the desk or are we both leaving?
No, we are both being replaced by Seabass and Fizz.
All right, sweet as. We'll pass you over to them. I hope you guys have a fantastic remainder of your weekend. This is Filthy and Stasi signing out. We'll let Seabass and Fizz take over. See you guys in about a 15-minute break.